Hi, I'm Jackie, and if you're watching this, then maybe you've seen my short film, Mismatched. In this timeline right now, I haven't posted the video, and I hope people liked it. It took a year in the making. It's pretty silly, it's not extravagant, but I wanted to make an art book to kind of show my process. I've been making a TikTok series about kind of the process and all the steps it takes to make a short film, so I thought it'd be really neat to have a physical copy of a book that has all those steps, as well as all the artwork that goes into making the film. So then you can have it on your little shelf. So enough of that. I'm going to show you a speed paint of the making of the cover of this piece. But I didn't start recording until I got my roughs all down because the absolute pressure of screen recording, me not figuring it out, is too stressful. So I couldn't do that. But let me walk through what my thought process was at the time. So I put together some references from style references, color references, and just general ideas. This frame from Golden Hour really inspired me to have things kind of centered with the text just being at the bottom. I really like this idea as well of the character being centered and not really seeing their face. It's not really a character piece, it's more of a background piece with the character in it. I really like the colors from Duo, this short film, and this Kevin Dart painting. It has really cool tones, and if I put it in black and white, you see how bright it is with how dark it is. I really am inspired by these colors, and I feel like it really is in line with my short film. The thing is, my piece has to be CMYK, and these colors already lost a lot of brightness, which you can't really tell. It was definitely a struggle trying to figure out how to have a really bright blue, because blues don't really get that bright in CMYK. Let me show you an example. This is like the brightest of blues. You know, yeah, it should be like this. You can see that it's really not like this. So let me show you my old sketches. The story is about a girl in her bedroom, and it's really messy, and she's on her phone. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. So I wanted to put her on this couch in the center with a really big mess around her. And I wanted to emphasize that it's not a sad, messy room while being on your phone in the dark. It's kind of more of a cozy vibe that I wanted to go with. So it was important to get the mood correct because this could very easily be a depressing piece. So I had a few ideas of composition. I wanted the phone screen to really stand out, and I wanted there to be a cool window cast shadow kind of light. I wasn't really feeling any of the ideas I was having. You know, this one was pretty cool, but the direction of the lighting kind of was random, it felt like. It didn't really contribute much to the story. This piece also wasn't quite doing it. I just couldn't really figure it out at the time. This was kind of cool. Maybe an idea that the light's coming in from the ground. Maybe that's like a doors opening up, but it wouldn't like kind of extend out to here. But it was kind of also random because it would be illuminating her legs. I could illuminate her face like I tried here, but it also felt, this was like the closest one to what feels right, but it was also kind of random as well, because why would just like the corner of her head and then this part of the couch be lit? The story isn't really told. And then I eventually kind of thought of this idea. Originally, I didn't want the phone to be in front of the window because it might get lost, but I think that if I make the phone bright enough, it won't take away from the window, and if I add some darkness around it, then it'll kind of stand out. I think the story makes more sense with everything being quite centered and flat for the window to be behind her, and then this little piece of the lighting on the ground, I think that's also a nice little addition. I think the story works here. I think it's good to go. I think we're ready for next steps. All right, time to start sketching out the background right over that rough that I have, making sure that the character is the right size for the couch and the little chair on the left and the bookshelf on the right, and so the books are all the right size compared to her. Adding a lot of mess around, lots of clutter to make it seem really full and kind of in theme with the story, which is throwing clothes around everywhere. My intention is to really get the character to not be the main focus, kind of. It's just the mood of the piece that I'm really trying to focus on. So I'm kind of blocking out all my shapes right now, not really paying attention to the colors, but a little bit, and also checking my tones, shifting between black and white every now and then. I'm sorry that I'm always moving my screen. Wouldn't it be cool if if there was no movement and you wouldn't get whiplash. I wish I could do it like that, but I just need to see everything really big. So I'm just throwing in all these clothes. I'm using this like flat brush that is like horizontal, and it's really thin, and it's really cool to use against these things. It's a really cool technique that it's going on. So I'm glad I ended up changing my background, my blue background, to something a little less busy. I have to kind of separate this background from the black of the book background. So it was kind of tough to figure out how I was going to do that. I do change it again in a little bit because this is still a little too busy, too distracting from the rest of the background. But, you know, it does the job. I'm starting to kind of render out the pieces, adding some lighting, some reflective lighting, a little bit of texture here and there, and also playing around with the final hues. And this is kind of what the final piece ends up looking like. The character is a little lost in the background, but you know, you live and you learn, and I hope I learned. This is what the cover looks like for my book. I got it printed the other day. Here's the back, and here's the beautiful spread. This book is currently available on my website, and if you pre-order, it comes with this little print of visual development from my last video, actually, from the video before the film. Thanks for watching my process. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed something, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you. Bye.